Hello, everyone. I welcome you to another episode of Brief Talk, where I have with me a very special guest, Danielle, with me. It's a pleasure to have her join this episode. Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. So, can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and all the amazing hats you wear?
So many hats. Okay. But I'm blessed. So my name is Danielle Booher. I am oh boy, okay, a author, a speaker, a podcast host as well, a nurse, a mom, a Mimi. I have a granddaughter, a life coach. I do grief and trauma as well. I'm also starting to do energy healing and different things. So it's very exciting. Um, What else? I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something, but that is okay.
Everything's okay. It's absolutely okay. So, Daniel, can you let us know how your journey into helping people began? Like, as I just heard you say, that it's both through science and spirit. So, would you say there was a defining moment or turning point?
Yes, absolutely. My defining moment or turning point was in 2010. I was actually working two jobs, going to college, and taking care of two kids by myself as a single mom.
Mhm.
And um, I thought that all the trauma and stuff I went through, I was like actually at a good spot in my life. And one morning, I received a phone call that changed my life forever. And my mom called me um, and like 5:40 something in the morning. And I said, I was like reluctant, like, hello. And she said, Matthew has a gun. And so um, I was in denial. That was when we talk about grief and stages. And so I was so in denial. So I was just like so confused. And I would just woke up, right? So it's like, it was confusing. Anyway, the conversation went back and forth and she was trying to get me to calm him down.
Okay.
And um, one thing I can say is that he was not in his right mind. So I got a really different perspective than lots of people that lose their loved ones by suicide.
Mhm.
So his voice was different. He kept repeating the same stuff over and over again. It was kind of scary to be honest, a little bit. And I wasn't physically there. My mom was there. And now let me just also preference that I was in Ohio, they were in Maryland.
Okay.
So I physically couldn't get there, like, there just wasn't to happen. It was hours away. So they went back and forth, and the last words that he heard were mine. My mom was like, can you hear your sister? And so I said to him that we loved him and that his daughter needed him. And then I heard the gunshot. Um, I screamed and I dropped the phone and I woke up my one son, my oldest son. He was 9. Yeah, he was 9. So I had to click back into mom mode because he said, why are you crying? And I said, oh, my stomach hurts. And he goes, you don't cry when your stomach hurts? And I'm like, I do now. That was my answer. I do now. And so I put him back to sleep, went outside. Still in denial. She called and told me that he was gone. And I really didn't believe it. I was like, no, it's not true. And I feel bad because she just went through that horrible traumatic situation. And I was just like, there's no way this could be like she would make it up. Nobody would make that up. It's very traumatic. But yeah. So I went from the most extroverted person to the most introverted person. I wanted to drop out of college, which I was going to go to nursing school. And I just really didn't care about stuff anymore. I was like, other than my kids, I was like, meh, I don't care. You could have given me probably like $1 million at that point, and I would have been like, what's $1 million? I don't care. Um, but yeah, that's basically was 100% the turning point. And Yeah. I mean, it was tough. I got into nursing school, and I always say that I wanted to quit before I started, and I was like, I don't care, I'm not doing it. And I've always helped people, and I've always had a passion. And always, since I was a little kid, somebody drops something, I'll pick it up, hold doors open for people, do all these things. Always loved helping people. But at that point, I really was like, doesn't matter. And that's sad because that's not me, but I just became, something different because I was so sad. It was hard. But anyway, so that's basically it. It's not basically, that's a long it's a long thing, but that's what happened.
Wow, Danielle, um, I don't have words to say to you. And I'm just gonna say that, yeah, I know we've met before also, and you are such a brave person and such a lovely and nice person.
Thank you.
And I'm so sorry you had to go through this. And this really brings me to ask you this question that after all you have been through, Danielle, how did you take care of yourself during this process?
That's a good question, and it's a hard question to answer because I don't feel like I did take care of myself.
Mhm.
I call myself a zombie robot because I'm very silly and I did comedy, but I was on autopilot, and I kind of just took care of kids. And ironically, a few months after my brother passed, so July was the 15th year
Mhm.
anniversary. And so like 2.5 months later, well, 2 months later, I got in a new relationship. Weird time to get in a relationship. It was somebody I knew from high school. I quit smoking, and the day that he passed away, I smoked 2.5 packs of cigarettes in 4 hours, which is crazy. Um, I don't even think I was smoking them. I think it was just like a coping. uh, but anyway, so I wrote a post about wanting to quit smoking, and then somebody that I knew in high school, we started talking. And then this is a crazy story, but it is true. And it really affected my kids, and I didn't think about it because I was grieving. Him and his 4-year-old son moved into my house, like, so way too fast. And I'm not saying I regret it because I love my son with all my heart, and now I have my daughter. Uh, but it was very fast. And anyway, so that's he did help me in a way because when I was triggered really badly. Like, I mean, I would drop down and cry and shake. Like if I heard a gunshot or thought I did or saw something on TV or a movie. So he was very supportive in that. So that's the way I kind of took care of myself. And then taking care of a 4-year-old, which my kids were a little bit older, was, I say all the time that he saved me in a way, because I had to like go into toddler mom mode again. So I had to go, like, the boys would be annoyed if I was like kissy huggy and all that stuff, but he was like still needed me to help him bathe and do all those things. And so I had to focus on him when the boys were in school, and that gave me less time to think and be sad. Like it gave me less time to like just sit in the like.
Yeah.
And then honestly, like going to nursing school helped me take care of myself because it wasn't just about me or my family. It was like now I'm taking care of others and learning how to take care of others. And like I said, that's always been my passion.
Mhm.
And it brings me joy. So even though I had great sadness, I had joy in a way from doing those things. So
Okay, so Danielle, you're a life coach and grief coach also. So what made you come into this line of work?
So it took me a long time to heal, and I didn't realize that.
Mhm.
So 2022, which would have been around like 13-year mark of well, a little bit before 13 years of my brother passing. No, 12 years. I can't do math. Sorry, guys. 12 years.
It's okay.
Nope. Me. Okay, I'm just joking. So 12 years of my brother passing. Um, I was turning 40 that year. And my boyfriend at the time, we were together total of 6.5 years, but he was supportive in trying things I want. So I really like came here to Georgia from the north, became I lived in Ohio, then came to Georgia. So anyway, I just like was taking care of kids now. Unfortunately, I didn't get to bring my bonus son. So I had my oldest, my second son, and then my daughter. And so autopilot again. I was working like 60 hours a week. Driving in the traffic was so horrible. I would be driving 2.5 hours to get home, 45 minutes. It was just bad. So, anyways, finally I got a different job and I was blessed and grateful and became a travel nurse, and it gave me freedom in a way too. So I started stand-up comedy. He said, "You always want to try it, try it." I did background acting. I started my podcast. And so along the lines of that, I decided that I want to help people. I was like, the podcast helps. You're helping a lot of people right now. As well, we are together. But so anyway, I just somebody mentioned that I should be a life coach because I love to help people, and so did my ex. And I went on a forgiveness journey. So I got certified, and I did not realize that I wasn't healed. I thought I was. I was like, I'm fine, and I just kept going. And when I forgave myself and my brother and, domestic abuse situations, and I was with narcissists and all these things, I allowed that though. I had to realize that I played a part in that too. And so I had to forgive myself. I thought I was supposed to save my brother and I didn't. So I had that guilt and shame, didn't even realize it for that many years. So it's really like, even though I looked happy on the outside, on the inside, still, I was just like, da, 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 kind of just moseying along. So that really changed my life. Like, that's the year that I feel like my life kind of just, I don't want to say restarted, but kind of like booted back up. And I was like, okay, here I am, and it's been such a huge blessing to be able to help people. And I was trying to figure out my niche because I've been a homeless mom, I've been a single mom, I've been all these things. And like I said, domestic abuse, and I'm a nurse, and da da da. And so every day, as I was going through my certifications, I would see somebody would lose someone, right? And that's something we all have in common, is grief, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, and you don't have to just, I mean, I got goosebumps. You don't have to just grieve loss of a person. You can grieve from so many things. My divorce, I grieved, leaving behind my child, because I had to legally. And so that's where I really like found myself called to. And literally in public, people will come up to me and talk about people that they lost. I don't even know them, never met them. And so it's just like, it's drawn to me. And lots of people are ashamed to talk about those things, but we need to heal. We need to, know it's part of life, unfortunately, but it is. And so,
Yeah, Danielle, you mentioned humor. So yeah, I gotta ask, um, what role do you think humor can play in healing, especially during grief? Now, I asked this why, because I will tell you very honestly that when my husband passed away, like since that time, me and my kids over the years, we can make some very dark jokes around death, around losing someone. And jokes like if and a third person would be listening to us, he would be saying, "Oh, what did they just say?" But it's the thing that we can, yeah, we can have humor in what we are trying to say in our expression when we are talking about some topics that most people are think that, they're off limits from humor. So this is my question. Do you think that humor can play a role in all this grieving process?
absolutely. I feel like you have to have humor. I mean, when I talk about forgiveness, we can't go back and change the past. So like to not, laugh or find joy again, or any of those things, that's just torture. It's horrible. So it's funny because um I also have a trauma podcast. So even on the trauma podcast, which is on a break right now because I'm super busy, but even on that one, we would still laugh. We would
Sure.
talk about the most horrendous things. And it's not funny what happened to us,
Of
but
course, it is.
it's the fact of I am so thankful that I'm here. Thank God that I'm here. I'm alive
Absolutely.
here.
Absolutely.
And so like I'm in my right mind. I'm able to heal. I'm able to learn. I'm able to still love. So it's like that's why I think it's so funny to and great to still have some humor. And I actually made a horrible joke that I will never say. I said it out loud like once or twice. It is not. It's funny, but it's not funny because my brother had severe OCD,
Mhm.
and so this joke was so dark. I don't usually tell dark jokes, but it was so dark, but it was so hilarious to me. And I was like, people are going to think I'm so evil, but I'm not going to tell it. But it was really, really, it was very funny. So, but, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, we're really sensitive nowadays. And so we're just like, oh my gosh, that's so mean. But we're not making fun of someone's disability or like saying something crazy. I saw this really hilarious shirt at a comedy show on this, I don't know, video or something on Instagram. And I thought it was kind of harsh, but it said, my dad is a ash hole. And it had his urn, a picture.
Oh my God.
He thought it was crazy. And they say some stuff, right? And so he was like, what's wrong with you guys? And they were like, and so
Yeah, but I gotta say this is a funny one.
but when I first saw it, I was like, oh, and like, but it is really funny because it's like, what what can you do, like, and so, and at least in that situation, they have some of the ashes, which is really cool. But you can make jewelry out of it. You could do whatever.
Of course.
Um, yeah, but so my brother was buried. So the only things I had of his was a jersey, which I cannot find when I left Ohio, and then like a dress shirt and some shoes. That's the only thing I had of my brother's, and all of them I cannot find them. So I mean, the ash thing is cool, and it's funny. Ash hole, the other word. I mean, so yeah, so some people do have a dark humor, but that's the way that they're healing, and
Yeah.
it's better to me to talk about and laugh about stuff as opposed to somebody I know that didn't talk about my brother for years. That is so detrimental. Like that's so toxic because they're just stewing on the inside for all these years. When I talk about him, my brother used to be mean to me, but that's the truth. I mean, I love him. I'm not talking bad about him, but he loved to make jokes. Ironically, he was hilarious and he loved to make jokes. So he would make fun of me, and we have the same friends. And I'm like, that's not fun. And he's like, it is to me. So that just was us. We were 1 year apart. I became his second mom. So that was our way of humor. I didn't love it, but he loved it. So it's okay. But then, when you don't have that, you kind of miss it. So I'm like, oh man, he's not making fun of me anymore.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. We miss so much about the people who are not among us, but yeah, that's the way how things are. You have a unique gift of sensing and communicating with spirits, and I have had first-hand experience with this one. So, when did you first realize that you had this ability?
So here's the funny thing, and I am so transparent and authentic, that I literally with you was the first time ever.
Really?
So yes,
Okay.
I knew that I was learning how to like tune it because there's different things. I have crystals and different things that I ask, like, I'm like, okay, God, whatever you want to send me, let me be like I ask different prayers, different things. But I feel like that's the first time I could discern like what it was. So when I was taught, it's like if it's coming from here, this is somebody that's passed. If it's coming from here, it's just so yes. So that was the first experience for me that I absolutely knew.
Wow.
I that it was, and I got goosebumps again, a full body chills that I knew, and my light just flashed. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I didn't touch it. It just flashed. So there you go. Confirmation. So, but that's the first time that I knew because I've never, do you mind if I talk about the experience really quick?
Oh, sure, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So I have never felt somebody else's, like I felt like I was not me. Like I felt like it was him
Mm-hmm.
speaking
Mm-hmm.
to you. I could not stop crying. And I'm sorry because that's probably not professional, but that was 100% real. Like I could not control anything. Like I couldn't control it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a beautiful experience. And one that I look back and went, did that just happen?
Yeah,
But that's how strong he is. I feel like he was a strong, like
he was.
solid nation man. Yes.
He was.
So his boldness and strength was coming out so deep. Like I don't know. I just couldn't control it. But it was really beautiful and really awesome. Um, so I don't know. I just like I don't know how to explain it. Like don't know how to explain it. It was awesome that I have that gift. I figured I did. I've heard like I've thought things in the past, and again, I might have heard from people that have passed, but I don't know how to determine
Mm-hmm.
like is that a spirit guide? Is that like I just don't know. I was at a grocery store the other day, and this lady started talking about how she lost her son, and literally we're in the line of the grocery store, and her husband has stage 4 cancer and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, I'm a grief coach, and I just kept tasting blood, like tasting blood, tasting blood, tasting blood, and I'm like, oh, what do I say? Do I say something? I don't know. This lady's at the grocery store. This is weird. I don't know. But I knew that it had to be the loved one, which was her son overdosed. And so I knew that's what it was. But I also am so new, and it's people don't understand. Either do I fully, but it's like I don't know. It's not like I'm like Teresa Caputo that can go up to people and be like, hey, you have you seen me on TV? This is what I'm getting, on TV. So I don't know. Some strange lady is like, I taste blood. This means so things have happened before. Just like I got a message and I haven't told him yet. Somebody I work with, spoiler alert, if you work with me. I got a message for somebody I work with, and I'm trying to guide him into it because like I asked him, he never answered me. Do
Mm-hmm.
you have a nickname? Because my message for him was a nickname that is not very nice that I feel like that his mom was telling him. And I was like, I'm that. Like, like, we work together. I'm gonna call him that. So it's funny. I'll tell you what it was. I got the message. It's very sweet. I love you more, big head. Like with sons or whatever. But I'm like, I don't want to call him a big head. So I'm kind of just waiting for him to say if he ever answers me, and when I see him in person in a couple, like tomorrow, I'll ask him, just like, do you have a nickname? Just nonchalant. And then if he tells me that, then I will proceed and tell him the message. But yes, it is a beautiful gift, but learning how to like hone in on it and figure out like what is going on, that's the tricky part. Cause I literally just figured out. So like 2 or 3 months ago, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm intuitive. I didn't know that my whole life. But I want to say this really quick is that things can block stuff. So I've had this gift my whole life, but I've been in, really, really toxic relationships. And so the things that I was allowing and putting their energy into my energy was blocking all of my gifts until I actually split up with my ex in maybe October, November last year. And ever since then, I've been on a journey of discovering who I am. So this is part of the discovery is, whoa, look what I can do. Or it's not me, it's God's spirit. Like, and look what they're doing through me. It's so awesome. And I also am becoming a Reiki master as well. So energy healing is very important. And it's very important in grief and trauma as well, because it can unblock different chakras and different things. But sorry, I always have a long answer, but
Oh. We love your long answers, Danielle. It's absolutely okay. So tell me, what is something you'd say most people misunderstand about grief or the grieving process?
Oh, I I think there's two things that people misunderstand, but it's from the person grieving and the people, family around. Um, I've heard several times, even talking to people that are grieving, that if they were the strong one.
Mhm.
So people would say, well, you're the strong one. So, we don't have to check on you. You're fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. So just like with me being a nurse, I literally, and I got goosebumps still, can take care of other people. My friend just went through something so traumatic and she's doing so great. I'm so thankful. God has blessed her so much. But she had a stroke at 42
Mhm.
and now she's having to learn how to do everything. So since May to now, she is so frustrated, but she has made such great progress. She's doing amazing. She couldn't move anything on her right side. Now she's walking like again with walker and stuff. And so as a nurse, though, I have done that, taking care of plenty of people. Seeing my friend go through that, I was there when she was intubated and she was in pain. She was still sedated. She was so angry. She was shaking her whole body, and I couldn't help her. It was so hard. So, same thing with, yes, they're the strong one, but this is their family. This is their loved one. This is their child sometimes that they lost. Check on them. People isolate. And that's what I also want to say is too, is that isolation in a way, okay, but not forever, because now you're just secluded and you have all this time to just think.
Yeah.
um and it's really hard, but that's the thing. People think, well, oh, they're fine because they've been doing this and they hold it down. Or even psychiatrists or therapists or whatever, when they lose their own loved one, it's not like they're like, oh, I'm training for this, it's fine. No, it's your loved one. Just like I couldn't take care of my own child, that I just couldn't do it. Like, it's
So
too
true.
hard, like,
So true.
because I'm emotionally involved, right? It's like, it's not, I can't separate the two because it is one at that time. So I think those are like misconceptions of like, oh, well, they don't need anything. Let's check on it. Ask the person who's grieving, what do you want? Do you want us to check on you, or do you want time alone? Or what, ask that, because some people love to have people around and some people do need a little bit of time alone.
Absolutely.
But everybody's different. So please don't just ignore them. That's one thing that people said that was the hardest thing for them, is that they felt like nobody cared about them anymore. And everybody just, after so many weeks or months, was like, whatever. And that was really hard. So just know that they still need you. You could pray for them. You could do so many things for them, but just let them know that you still care. Like, hey, I'm here. If you need anything, just check up on people, even a quick text or call. I mean, it's important to let them know that you still you're thinking about them.
Oh, so Danielle, where can people find you or connect with you?
Yeah. So you can just Google me, Danielle Booher, and all my things, lots of things, even probably my comedy will pop up.
I'll be
Um,
sharing your links in the description here also.
Thank you. Yeah. So I have even if you go on my Facebook, it should have my website, all my things, because my website is like author Danielle Booher on Facebook. And so you could just find me. This is just simple. My most simple answer is just look up my name.
Great, great. So, what message would you like to leave with someone who might be struggling with grief right now?
Yes. So my big message always is to never ever give up. Don't give up. Love yourself, give yourself grace, and never stop healing or learning. It's a journey. It's not like we're just all of a sudden we're just like, I'm healed. Um, just give yourself grace. Don't ever give up. Take one step at a time. And if you need to forgive yourself or others, please do that because it does help you start the process, I believe, in my opinion.
This brings us to the end of this episode. It was a pleasure having you here. Thank you, Danielle, for taking out the time to be with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.